Okay, today we're going to do a little bit of uh, housekeeping per se, things that you wish you had done, but you don't think you have time to do. So, without further ado, we'll get this is the overview of my plan right now. This is my assets now. This is where I'll be at the end of plan. All right, today we're going to talk about the durable power of attorney. So I always knew I had to do this and I just kept putting it off and putting it off. And because I don't feel like paying a lawyer and I don't feel like going in and talking to a lawyer. And so I had gone in, I have some software that will do a document. And so I actually went and did one. And here it is. And I printed it out, but that's not what we're going to talk about. I printed the whole thing out. I was going to grab my wife. I was going to fill it in, going to grab the wife. I was going to go down to the bank. I was going to get it notarized. And just happens that day, I happened to be watching Josh Scanlon, one of his videos where he mentioned power of attorney, a durable power of attorney. So, as usual, whenever I go into my estate planning part of Boldin, I'm always doing a pretty lame job of it. And I think I even said it would, every couple months, it would like tell me, you really should be doing this. And, and I would ignore it. So I told it not to tell me that anymore. So New Jersey, for New Jersey, I'm not too worried about the kids. Like I looked at everything and they basically said, listen, if my wife and I die, then they get the assets evenly. I have a spreadsheet that my oldest son knows about where he would go to make sure he can find everything. Um, I may still put together a will, but it's going to be really straightforward. Just they get everything and they split it four ways. So some of that I'm not too worried about. But the biggest thing I was worried about was that I had read, which is even what they talked about, Josh was talking about that the other day, is a durable power of attorney. So the issue you have there, which it's not as big an issue today as it was back when, is that if you're incapacitated somehow, but you're not dead, because obviously you're going to do your beneficiaries. That wasn't a problem. When in my IRA and all that, it has beneficiaries of my wife and I think my oldest son. And if the problem is if something happens to me and I'm still alive, she can't really do anything without me. Now, that being said, she totally can. Because in this day with the interweb, with the internet, I don't think it knows the difference. I think she could go in on my account and my Fidelity account. She could do withdrawals. She could have checks sent. She could do transfers. I honestly think she could do just about everything. Um, which this summer when she's off, I'm going to really sit down with her and just make her understand all the finances and show her where Fidelity is and how to use it and all that good stuff. So she could probably do a lot over the internet. But that being said, just in case I want a durable power of attorney, because if she calls them and says, hey, I want to do this, then they're going to say, well, can you put Steve on the phone if they don't have this durable power of attorney? So what I did was I happened to be watching that day, and Fidelity has this great service where you can just put in fidelity.com/POA and it brings you right into their service of how to do this. And we did this. So Josh got this far, and you just hit this add power of attorney, and it's going to ask you to fill out some information. Now, I'm clearly not going to go through all this because we already went through it, but I just want to give you a little bit of an insight of how it works. So it's awesome. You got to make sure your wife is with you. I mean, you could probably do it separately, but it's so much easier together. You want to be together. It creates the power of attorney document for you after asking you a series of really simple questions. I think the whole process took like 25 minutes, not the questions, the entire process. And then what will happen is it'll send you a document that you can sign. So it sends you the document. You don't print it out and sign it. It's all an electronic process. And when you click, I'm ready to sign, because remember, it needs a notary and it needs witnesses. That's why I was going to have to go to the bank. So when you're in that email and you press sign, it brings you online and you have to use your phone. You can use your phone to first what happens is it'll give you a little, whatever they call it. It's not barcodes, but the things you can scan with your phone. It'll give you one of those on the screen. You click it with your phone. That URL brings you into an app on your phone. It's not an installed app, just a URL. You take pictures of the front and back of your driver's license or whatever ID you want to use. And then when you're done with that, it actually brings you into an online session with either the person who's organizing it or the notary themselves. I think it's a notary. And that person's sitting on their couch or whatever. They ask you a couple of questions. You click like 2 times. You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, or you swear, you say yes, we agree to this. And then they actually online bring in a couple witnesses. And then those witnesses sign it. They digitally sign it. And so the whole process took like 20, 25 minutes. And then you don't have to do anything other than that, then it gets shipped back to Fidelity and then they attach it to your account. So honestly, it was zero cost, 20 minutes time, and a huge benefit. So I would totally suggest you do it. It's one of those things you never feel like doing because you have to go to the attorney's office and all that. But this was just awesome. So I would highly recommend doing it. I mean, mine's the biggest account. So, I mean, my bank accounts, she could access those all online. It wouldn't even be a problem. But do it. It's a good idea. And I don't think you'll regret it. It's just like one of those things when you're done, you're like, oh, that feels so much better. Because it is the lion's share of our retirement. And if she wanted to go into an office or something, it'd be a problem. And sometimes I worry when I go senile, or when I get really old, I'm gonna go senile and be this crazy money guy where I'll be like, no, you can't spend any money. So this was important for me to make sure that that was clean. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.